Germany's Environment Minister Sigmar Gabriel is facing something of a storm in this wind tunnel in Bremerhaven. He's visiting a company that's testing models for offshore wind parks. Gabriel sees such wind parks as a way of fulfilling the government's ambitious climate protection goals.
By 2020, we want to have 10,000 megawatts capacity on Germany's North Sea coast. That's where we see the greatest potential as regards to expanding wind energy.
The government wants renewable energy, especially wind power, to meet 30% of the country's electricity needs by 2020. It has approved 47 wind parks in the North and Baltic Seas, but schedules and feasibility are under debate. Work hasn't yet started on any of the planned parks because for environmental reasons, Germany wants them far out to sea. That's difficult and expensive. Industry blames policymakers for the delays.
I have the impression that, especially in the political arena, when offshore wind energy was strategically developed, the ministries were of the opinion that electricity must be cheaper to generate where the wind blows strongly. It's true, we have 30 to 40% more wind on the high seas than we do on land. That is an argument. But it was overlooked that the costs are also higher, by 140 to 150%.
Harnessing wind energy far out at sea is largely unexplored. Next month, an experimental facility will be constructed 35 kilometers off the North Sea island of Borkum. The platform is already complete, but no one knows how water and weather will affect rotors and foundations, how the power will be transmitted to land, or how maintenance will be carried out. The Social Democrat Environment Minister is taking flack from his Christian Democrat coalition partners.
What we are hearing is that new construction, improvements and additions are not proceeding as planned. We have to do more. Otherwise, we can't meet the goals we've set for ourselves in the European Union.
That's partly the reason why Germany substantially increased subsidies for offshore wind energy this year. Instead of 9 euro cents per kilowatt, it now pays 15 cents. The subsidies are the only incentive for companies to build the first offshore wind turbines. Germany's neighbors are thinking smaller and cheaper. Years ago, Denmark built a wind park close to Copenhagen, along with many other shore-hugging wind parks. The concept has proved effective.
So it's not very deep, so that way it's easy to build on compared to deeper places, and it's nearby, so we don't need a long grid connection into land.
Germany is still backing the idea of wind parks further from the coast because a lot of money has been spent on research. If all goes well, it will have a new technology to export. But the industry says Germany could also meet its climate goals by retrofitting existing wind parks, a practice called repowering.
That would allow us to halve the number of wind turbines, double the existing efficiency, and triple the contribution that wind power can make.
In theory, that would mean by 2020, inland wind parks would generate 4 times as much power as the planned offshore project. But so far, there's been no progress with such modernization either.
In the last Renewable Energies Law, we created incentives for repowering. Now we expect investors to respond to these incentives and invest in repowering. But the financial crisis is having an effect.
So this path to the goals for 2020 also remains uncertain. And offshore, the Environment Minister is sticking to the program. His visits to Bremerhaven and Bremen aim to encourage industry. But even Sigmar Gabriel no doubt realizes that the government's ambitious climate plans are looking a bit unstable.